So here we are for the first book of the Iliad. So as you know, the main hero of the Iliad is Achilles. He's the lead character and is the quintessential Greek hero. So the epic itself states that the Iliad is the story of the wrath of Achilles. Achilles is Prince of Thea and the leader of the Myrmidon group of soldiers, and the son of Peleus and Thetis, the nymph. So he is the central character of the Iliad. He is the greatest warrior, for sure, involved in the Trojan War. On the battlefield, he is unstoppable and able to rout whole armies single-handedly. So, dealing with his rage is the central action. He sacrificed, unfortunately, many of his allies to his pride, refusing to fight because of an insult to his honor. So the story is around his movement from rage to grief and wrath, and finally to recognition. Is so this much than other the earth of the Iliad. So let's see about the rage of Achilles. In book 1, the first lines, the poet says, "Rage, goddess, sing the rage of Peleus' son Achilles, murderous, doomed, that caused the Achaeans counted losses." So the Iliad itself begins with the poet Homer calling on the muse to sing the wrath of Achilles and its consequences. So at the beginning, Apollo's prize crisis comes to the Achaean camp and asks to ransom back his daughter Chryseis, who has been captured. Agamemnon sent him rudely away, and Chryseis prays to Apollo to punish the Greeks. And Apollo will do by sending a plague. So Achilles at this point calls an assembly to ask the seer Calchas why Apollo is angry. Agamemnon agrees then to give up Chryseis, but demands some other prize to replace her. So Agamemnon wants to take the captive woman of Achilles, Chryseis, and Achilles responds to this by denouncing Agamemnon and threatening to go home. Agamemnon repeats his threat to take Achilles' prize, and Achilles is about to draw his sword when Athena appears to him and stops him. Instead of attacking Agamemnon, Achilles berates him some more and swears an oath to stay out of the battle so that the Achaeans can see how important he is. Nestor, who is a member of the Greek army and is known for his bravery and speaking abilities, tries to reconcile the two chiefs, but without much success. So Achilles agrees to surrender Chryseis without a fight. When the messenger of Agamemnon arrives, Achilles hands her over. He then meets with his mother, Thetis, the sea nymph, and tells her the whole story of how he has been dishonored. He asks her to convince Zeus to make the Trojans win for a while, so that the Greeks will realize how much they need Achilles. Thetis so meets with Zeus and explains the situation. He asks her a favor, so he agrees to give glory to the Trojans on Achilles' behalf. Hera, who favors the Greeks, expresses her displeasure of this plan, but Zeus asserts his authority and she is in silence. Then Hephaestus comforts his mother Hera, and soon all the gods are again at peace, and the day ends. So let's go on with the first book. So the first line states that the main theme of the Iliad is to seeing the wrath of Achilles. These wraths and all the permutations, transformation, influences, and consequences. So I repeat, is the major theme of the Iliad. So, in essence, the wrath of Achilles allows the poet Homer to present and develop in the cultural framework of heroic honor the ideas of strife, alienation, and reconciliation. Let's see this better. The wrath of Achilles is provoked first by his sense of honor, as a result of Eris, the cause of the war, you remember, or discord, which leads to the warrior's alienation from the Greeks, and so eventually from human society. Second, the wrath of Achilles sets him up in clear contrast to his great Trojan counterpart in the story, Hector. Finally, the assuaging of Achilles' wrath leads to the reconciliation and reintegration of the warrior, first in his own community, so in the Greek community of the warriors in war, and second into the larger community of all humanity. Here we have Achilles. When so considering these three ideas, the result from the wrath of Achilles is a grand design in the work that centers not so much on war, so you have understood, as on the growth and development of an individual character. So, underlying the idea of honor is another important Greek concept, so strife personified by the goddess Eris. For the Greeks, life was based on the idea of strife and turmoil. To try to avoid strife was to avoid life. Good life could be only achieved by reconciling the factors that produced strife. So, however, war, nature, personality, everything contain elements of strifes that may not be completely reconcilable. This more elemental strife could lead to evil. This is a center concept, idea in the Greek beliefs. So both types of strife are involved in Achilles' anger. So that's why Achilles is the center of the Iliad. And the theme of rage with him. So let's go on with the theme of rage. Achilles' wrath is initiated by his sense of honor. This is the basic thing. Honor, so for Greeks, and specifically heroes, and what the Greeks meant for heroes, existed on different levels. First is arete, the pursuit of excellence. Second, nobility. So on the personal level, men had to treat each other properly. Personal regard and honor from one's peers was essential to the proper functioning of society. Third, valor, obtained by a warrior for his accomplishments in battle. Fourth and finally, the Greeks could obtain everlasting fame and glory for their accomplishments in life. So the wrath of Achilles is based on each of these concepts and is representing the basic valor of the society of the time. And then reconciliation ends the wrath of Achilles and makes him more than a warrior hero. So Achilles' anger comes into great waves. The first is his withdrawal from battle because of conflict with Agamemnon, and ends when Achilles accepts Agamemnon's offer and reaches agreement concerning his slave Briseis. The second wave of anger is over the death of Patroclus at the ends of Hector, and ends with Achilles returns to Priam of Hector's body to give him proper burial. So the theme of rage, individual and society. The contrast between Achilles and Hector is at the center of this concept. This waves its way through the Iliad and is really Homer's means of developing the conflict between individual values versus societal values. So Achilles embodies the individual that's alienated from society, and it's operating in the framework of his own code of pride and honor. He tends so to represent passion and emotion. So, like so many great epic heroes, he is not understandable at the end. Then, let's see, in contrast, Hector, the great Trojan hero, that's for sure more human, because he tends to exemplify reason over passion. He has a wife and a son. He fights to save his city, even though he knows the basis for the quarrel, that is, Paris and Helen, is not worthy for the resulting destruction. But even in war, Hector demonstrates more human qualities than Achilles. He hesitates, he gives ground, he is wounded. In the moment of crisis, he runs. So the readers see more of themselves in Hector. That's the family man who cares about his commitments. Achilles is the estranged loner and lies outside the reader's comprehension. So, about the Rage of Achilles and Book 1, I'll post a video that's a summary and an analysis of this beginning of the Iliad. Okay, see you soon in next video. Bye.